I'm Mike Love. I'm the principal here at Kimpton, and I'm really excited. It's nice to see people here. It's exciting to see some students, in the gym right now, and the possibility of seeing students very soon. We can't wait for that. For me, a little bit about me. So I've taught in Stowe. This will be, I think, my 12th year. I taught at the high school. I taught math previously at the high school. Assistant principal here for 5 years, and this will be my second year as principal here at Kimpton. I was looking forward to just a year where I knew what was going to happen and everything, being the same as last year, but that hasn't happened yet. But someday it will. Like I said, I'm really excited to have students back. I learned some things about myself during the quarantine. I learned some things that I can't do. I learned I can't do any form of construction or home repair. I made one project of just removing wallpaper to a point where we needed to remove a wall. So I did that. And just so you know, my wife was right the whole time that I was wrong. So I learned I wasn't good at construction. I also learned I can't cut my own hair. That was worse than the wall. If you see, we have some videos posted on our website, and one of them is a tour of Kimpton. That's fresh after my haircut. So if you watch that video, you'll see some spots, you'll see some patches. It wasn't my finest work. So I've learned some things I can't do well, but one thing I feel that the staff here is really great at working with kids, and we can't wait to have students back. We can't wait to interact with students online for the Gold Plan parents as well. We can't wait to get back to that and to try to make things as normal as we can. It feels really good to be speaking to you guys. This feels like the most normal thing that I've done in a while, school-wise. So it's just great to be here. A little bit just about that I'd ask you to do is, with Kimpton, we really want to have an open door policy for our students, for parents, community members, meaning when there's an issue, when there's something going on, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Whether it be through the phones, through email, whatever it takes, encourage your students to come see us. We want that. And that's me, Mr. Dietrich's the assistant principal. He's over in the gym right now. Our counselors, our teachers, we want to know what's going on. The fastest way, the best way that we can help anyone is just by knowing what's happening. And we can go from there. And that's whether students are online, here, face-to-face, whatever it is. We want to know about it. Our staff, we have a team atmosphere, and that'll be true for gold and maroon students with that. They're going to be on teams with teachers, and what that team is, it consists of a math teacher, a language arts teacher, a science teacher, social studies teacher, an intervention specialist, and then there's also an exploratory teacher that can kind of be linked in with the team as well. And those teams, what's great about it is it allows us to really form some strong relationships with our kids. To really find out more about them, find out how we can help them, really work to meet every student's unique needs. And we take that very seriously at Kimpton and whatever we can do. So we'll encourage you to please reach out to us and how we can help with that. Some things to expect from us in the very near future. So I sent an email out today with a link to our website and to specifically the page on our website that has Kimpton-specific videos. And we'd love for you to check those out. There's information on the maroon plan, the gold plan. Eventually this video will be up there as well. Very soon, I think actually as of this afternoon, we were able to post our team videos. So it's just the team teachers kind of talking, similar to what it would be at an open house, kind of goofy and silly too in certain parts, but just to, again, give students and parents an idea of, hey, we're the people that'll be here. We're the staff that's going to be working with your students, whether it be online or face-to-face. So those will be up there. Also, team teachers will be reaching out through phone calls, through emails, through an opening beginning of the year newsletter, and some different ways just to introduce ourselves, because it's been so strange that we didn't really get that opportunity in the spring, and we don't get that opportunity to have like a real traditional open house. So we want you to know who we are, what we're all about, and we're excited. We'll also have videos just throughout the year on that webpage. We try to do, you can see ours, some from last year, where student created videos where, about our STEM classes, our music classes, just a lot of different things. So feel free to check those out. And a lot of those programs, might be a little different this year, but they're still going to be here. They're still going to be parts of that make Kimpton special. So please check that out, and that'll just help you kind of get a flavor for what we're all about. Something we're really proud about at Kimpton is just our Wage Hope mantra. I'm sure you've seen the t-shirts that have been around, the anti-bullying wage hope shirts, and that's something that we take really, really seriously. We encourage our students to treat each other well and to really look out for each other, to let us know when things seem off or things seem strange. We encourage our students to really build each other up and to push each other to just be better people. And that's a huge thing that we want students to do as they leave Kimpton, to not just grow academically, but to grow socially, emotionally, and also just to grow into the type of person that just really helps somebody. That's something that we really believe wholeheartedly and that we want to do. We want to give hope to others and be that voice that really does that. So we really encourage our students to do the different things that lead to that, into those different activities. For instance, last year our students, they ran with and organized a Start With Hello Week in September, which we're going to do again and have students kind of lead that again. It'll obviously look a little different. But again, and that's just an idea of helping our school and our online community to be more inclusive and to be more inviting to everyone, again, whether they're here or online. Our students designed the new Wage Hope shirts that I'll send a link out to order if people are interested in that very soon. And that theme is just better together, that we're better together. We're better as a community. We're better when we're working together. So that's really the theme that our students came up with, and we're really proud of that. Some different things as far as our staff as well. We will address and enforce issues of racial language, and we will treat bullying and that seriously. That's something that just we need to teach our kids, and we need to help them through that process, and something that we really, really feel passionate about as far as waging hope. So now kind of some of the things that are very similar to the maroon and gold plans, and I'll kind of go back and forth because I do want everybody to be able to take some things away. And really the biggest thing that I want people to understand is whether a student's on the maroon plan and coming here, or whether they're on the gold plan and they're online, there's still going to be a lot of work online, especially now as we're in that hybrid schedule. All of our teachers are going to use Google Classroom. So all of your students will get an invitation to join those Google Classroom sites. They'll get the code similar to what they did in the spring. And that's really going to be our main format of communicating with students. Like, here are the assignments, here's what's going on, here's how we'll collect everything. Google Classroom is going to be our main source of doing that. Depending on gold or maroon, the teachers will do live lessons. They'll also do recorded lessons, kind of a mixture, and some other different things of getting that information on there. I think our whole belief is the more, whether it's online or face-to-face, the more that we can have a teacher in front of your students, that's going to benefit everyone. For gold classes especially, we are going to do the live online classes as well. The teachers will kind of will determine those schedules and when that will work and for how often they can do that. And what they're going to do with that is every Monday by 8 a.m., they're going to post a schedule for the week of, hey, here's when we're going to go live. Here's, kind of a rundown of what's going to be due this week. So students and parents can kind of work together to kind of pace things out and see what's going to make sense. As the weeks go on, we want them to be consistent with each other, so that it's not just, okay, it's always kind of random when it's online. No, we want to make it more consistent. So we'll announce those on the Monday emails, or the Monday Google Classroom posts that the teams will make, so students and parents will be able to see that. We would also encourage parents, again, whether it's gold or maroon, we encourage parents to become a part of those Google Classrooms. What that looks like is the teachers will send an invite. And once you become a part of one of the Google Classrooms for your student, you'll be a part of all of their classrooms. So you can see what's due, what's coming up, and all those different things. We found that in the spring, that was really the best way of parents knowing here's what's going on, and here's how we can address certain things and what's due. So please, we'd encourage you to join that. And I'll send out more information as well about Google Classroom that can be specific to parents, so you know kind of what to look for and what to see. The other thing that we will encourage you to do is please Progress Book. We're still going to use Progress Book as well to record grades, just like in the past at Lakeview and other schools. So a great tool that if you haven't already, we'd encourage you to sign up for is to sign up for the missing assignments alert, because things happen. Sometimes assignments get missed for whatever reason. But what happens with that missing assignment alert is if a student doesn't turn something in, the teacher will mark it as missing. So then you get a notification that something wasn't turned in, and you can kind of figure out, hey, what's going on, and we can go from there. So those are really just solid ways for parents to be involved. We would also encourage you with that to, as you see questions, as things come up, please don't be a stranger to us. Email, reach out to the teachers. They're the most knowledgeable about what's going on. But also don't hesitate to, if there's a school-wide question or anything like that, don't hesitate to email me, and we'll figure it out. We want to do that, or call, and we'll make something work, and we'll work together. So we can do that. I think the big takeaway that I want you to know more than anything else from tonight is that we're here to help. We're here for you, and we're going to get through this time together, and it's going to be a time where students are learning and growing. Some questions that go along, just some random questions as we go with the online stuff too, is there's a lot of questions about, well, when does Kimpton start? What's that look like? Whether it's gold, maroon, what's that going to be like? So we are next week. On Monday, we'll have the 7th grade only day for A through L students. And what that day is, it's a day where students, they'll get a lot of tours of the building, so they know where their classes are. They will get a locker, they'll get all that information, and just kind of a day to kind of, all right, this isn't that weird. It's still school, I can do this, and kind of shrink the school. Then that Tuesday, it'll be the same, it'll be 7th and 8th grade, A through L. Then Wednesday's all remote, but then that first Thursday, that would be the first 7th grade day for M through Z students. Again, it's another day of the tours for students, so they can kind of get comfortable with Kimpton here. So, and then the Friday is 7th and 8th graders, M through Z. So a question we've gotten a lot of, well, if my student's a gold student, when is work going to be due? When's our first day and stuff like that? So teachers will post on Monday, kind of here's the rundown for the week. Nothing's going to be due until later in the week, until like those days of the alphabet come and stuff like that. But we still want to have everything posted so that if a student wants to, to work ahead, they can. But really that first week, we're using that just to get to know our students. We're not going to be heavy into the social studies or math book yet. It's just to get to know our students, some activities, some different things like that. So those will be the big thing for that first week as far as dates. Another common question along with coming to school is the immunization forms that you guys have. You can email them to me, but probably the best way to bring it into school is just have your student bring it with them on that first day. We'll collect them in homeroom or have a place where they can drop those off, and we'll be ready. So we'll make sure students know about that for the immunizations, but that's probably the best way to do that. But again, if it's easier, you can email it to me, and we can go from there. While I'm on the topic of immunizations, medications is something we always like to cover on this day as well. If a student does need a medication and you haven't already dropped it off when they had that drop-off date at the high school, please fill out the appropriate forms for that. Please don't just send the student to school with the medication. It's always scary what could happen, so please fill out that form, and then we'll figure out a process of how to get it and what we need to do, and how you can drop it off, and we'll work with you and we can make something work. Obviously, the exception to that is the students that have the form for carrying their medication with them and have already filled that out. All those forms are online. Again, reach out to me and we can get them to you if you're not able to access those. And again, we can work together to figure that out. So now those are just some general kind of logistics as far as the online and how it will go. I think the best way to reach us through that system would be through email and calling the school if it's for me or Mr. Dietrich. And I think we will get back to you quickly as you have questions. But again, reaching out to the teachers. They know what's going on in the classrooms. They'll be able to really help as far as with assignments, what's missing, and where to go from there. The teachers are also, again, whether it's a gold or maroon student, can set up Google Meets and Zoom sessions to help, to work in small groups. So please, as you're struggling, and I get it, it's tough to do online school, it is, and so please reach out to those teachers. They can set up times to meet with you, to meet with the student and work through different problems together and work through whatever just needs to be fixed and go from there. Some more logistics for the actual Kimpton school day, and I'll go back to some more things for everybody. But as far as arrival will go at Kimpton, the buses are still coming, and we're going to stagger when they come so that it's not everybody coming in the front doors at one time. We'll have different doors that they're using so that students can come in and be safe, socially distant from each other. We will also, along those lines too, we know that there's car riders and people being dropped off before the buses. So those students, we'll have them, as soon as they get here, we'll have them come down to the gym. And we have the seats marked off similar to as in here. And then when it's time, they'll go to their homeroom class and again, at a safe spot from the students on the buses, and quickly and safely. With that arrival time as well, actually I think that might be it as far as coming into school. Oh, the first day when students arrive, we know that your students coming from Lakeview haven't had a whole lot of experience to be at Kimpton. Today we're going to show them where their WIN classes and WIN and homeroom are going to be. That's your starting place. So we'll show students where that WIN classroom is, so they at least have an idea of, all right, here's where I'm going to go on that first day. And then we'll take it from there on those first days. We'll do plenty of tours so they know exactly where to go, and the teachers will be with them, so we'll be able to really help with that. Also on that first day, because if they're anything like me and have a pretty rough sense of direction, as they get, just because they've seen it once doesn't mean they're going to get it. So as the students come in, we're going to have teachers kind of lined up and around the school that can walk students to where that classroom is and say, hey, if you're going to 313, let's go up there together and stuff like that. So we're going to do everything we can to make sure that students aren't kind of wandering the halls with their schedules and different things like that. We'll be out. We know how awkward that can be, how challenging that can be, and we don't want somebody's first experience here in this building to be a rough one. We really want this day to start as smoothly and as well as it can, because we know first impressions can be tough to break. As far as lockers, students on the room plan will have lockers here at Kimpton. We're doing a really good job of keeping them, again, socially distant from each other, so that someone in their homeroom won't have typically the way it works is homeroom students have like a locker bank right outside their homeroom or WIN class, and they're right next to each other. We're mixing it up so that we're splitting it with the team, so that, science teacher has this locker, the math has this one, and so on, so that our ideal situation is that as the science homeroom students go to their lockers, they're not going to have anybody right next to them. So they're able to go there and safely. We'll have different times in the day, like homeroom time, and then also right before the end of the day, where students will be called based on their homeroom, based on their WIN, to go to their locker to, again, kind of monitor that. We really want to strive to, we don't want students going to their lockers really throughout the day, just because, again, that can create just students, really close together in the hallways. So one thing we're doing, this is new for Kimpton, we are going to allow students to have their book bags and take them from class to class, and whatever materials they would need to help with that. They keep their lunch in there. They really, though, the big materials that they would want in there would be the Chromebook, or if they want to carry it, and the charger, and then really just a folder, a writing utensil, and a notebook, something for them to take notes in. But again, whatever works for them. There will be more school supplies, I'm sure, but those are kind of the nitty-gritty for getting through this first time and then going from there. So that's as far as carrying things. Obviously, like coats and stuff once it comes, which, let's be honest, will probably be soon, knowing our weather. So that's a great place for their lockers, and that's why we'll give students time. They'll go to their homeroom first with everything, and then go out to their locker once they're kind of called at a safe time. Our hope, a lot of these things, like calling them to go to their lockers, or at the end of the day for dismissal, different things like that, those are kind of new to Kimpton. Usually in 7th grade, we don't do those things. So our hope is that as a couple of weeks go on, we're not making those calls, but it's just kind of the teachers know, all right, now it's time for you guys to go and stuff like that, and it just becomes a part of our more natural day and just how we do things, for the time being. With those hallway exchanges, that's as well something that we're gonna, right now, it's gonna be very flexible, but as time goes on, we're gonna kind of shorten the time in between. But what we're gonna do with that is we're gonna release students in the hallway by their teams initially. So we'll make an announcement of, say, all right, 7-1 and 8-1, time to go to your second period class. And then me, Mr. Dietrich, our school resource officer, will each be in a hallway, and we'll be able to radio, all right, hallways are clear. We'll make the announcement for the next team and then the next team after that. Once we kind of get into the rhythm and know how long it takes for the students to transition in those times, we won't be making those announcements. It'll be more the teachers will make the announcements and different things like that. But we feel like we really want to start with that structured environment to just really keep kids safe, healthy, and keep kids here Ultimately that's what we want to do. Also along those lines, just a couple more things about the Maroon plan is we do our lunch. I love our lunches here. They're going to be the warm lunches. I'm excited for them still. We are going to have a socially distant cafeteria. As you look out there, you'll see we're in the process of taping some different sides of the tables. You'll see those will be spots where students will be able to sit socially distant from one another. With that, it'll be assigned seats for now, but we want students to pick those assigned seats. So we're going to give them time on that 7th grade day to figure things out. That won't be their seat for the whole year. We'll be able to make adjustments. We get it. We work in a middle school. We know relationships can change, and we'll work together to figure those things out as that happens, and just make sure everybody's safe with that. But I am very excited. We have the best lunches, I think, here. So I'm very excited. They put calzones on the menu for the first week just for me. So those are my favorite. Another thing that's really unique to Kimpton and special to Kimpton is our intramural time. What that is typically, so this is on a typical school year, 7th grade eats lunch, and then 8th graders on the same team level, so like 7-1's eating and 8-1's in the gym, and 8-1 would be doing intramurals at that time. And then after 7-1 eats lunch, they switch and they go to intramurals for about 25 minutes. What intramurals are? They're tournaments that are set up by the gym teachers where it could be floor hockey, it could be hot shot basketball, soccer, different things, ultimate frisbee. And then as they do really well, they move on and they play, a team from another lunch and stuff like that. And we have a big tournament and championship, and it's a lot of fun. We obviously have to do things differently this year, but we are still going to have intramurals. We're still going to do it because we think it's important to give students that time to just kind of break up their day a little bit. Especially we really want, and we're really hoping, fingers crossed, for really nice weather as long as we can, because our dream scenario is we can get to go outside for intramurals, and we'd love to do that. And we'll be finding different activities that they can do that keep them socially distant. Now, with that being said, the time, what it used to be in intramurals, while two teams are playing, like people are in the stands watching, we're not going to be able to do it exactly like that with everybody going outside, because we just couldn't, make sure that everybody's 6 feet away or different things like that. So while there will be some people outside, there will also be some students that aren't playing that'll either be in the gym, in the bleachers, or in here, and still have that downtime, but it'll obviously be a little different. And we want to take out as many students as we can outside. It'll just, kind of be that process of figuring out, what sports can do what and different things like that. But we are committed to trying to make that happen, because we want to give students that time to still have fun, to still experience that. Also along those lines with our Maroon plan is just dismissal. A big thing of ours is we don't want students to cross each other once they're on the bus. So what we're going to do is at the end of the day, students will already have their materials, and what we'll do is we'll make announcements. All right, students that sit in seats 16 to 30 on the bus, you're dismissed, and we'll take those students out, and then we'll call the next seats out, just to kind of help students get on the bus and safely. Once students are on the bus quickly, that's when we'll make an announcement. All right, car riders, you're dismissed. So we'll work through that. We'll make that process quick. We'll get students out quickly and safely, and that's how we'll do that. Something for Maroon and Gold students as well is we are still doing our extracurricular activities. Our clubs, our activities, our sports, they're awesome. They're great things to keep students, motivated, to keep students meeting new students. Again, I feel like I've said over and over again, it's going to be different, and it is, just with right now, but we still want to have those things. We still want to do those things that make middle school fun, and that make middle school a place where they want to be here and want to enjoy coming to. So we will do those things. It's just some quick things, just for whether Gold or Maroon. I work to create a Kimpton update. Just about every week on Thursday or Friday, I email those out through the school messenger system, so I'll continue to do that. Sometimes it can be repetitive with some of the information, but I guess kind of my philosophy is I want to try to over-communicate as much as I can. So I'd encourage you to please make sure you're getting those emails. If not, just email us and we'll make sure you're on there. Sometimes there's some issues, and we'll make sure to get your email on that. Our teachers will be communicating, often through that Google Classroom, so please sign up. But most importantly, just know that we're here for you. We're here however we can help. We know that this time hasn't been fun for anyone. We know that this time has led to just some real strife and issues and challenges for people around us. So again, please let us know how we can help, whether it's school supplies, food, whatever it is, we want to be there. So please let us know. We take it very, very seriously as far as what we're doing, and we really feel that we have a job and a mandate to help the community. So we're here for you. I think those are the really big things that I wanted to share. I'd encourage you, and I'll send a link out soon to join PTSA. We have a great PTSA group that really does a lot for us, for our school and our staff. So we'd encourage you to join that. And that's really the big things that I wanted to share with you today. And I really just wanted to meet you guys and you guys to see us. Because we know it can be scary going to middle school, but it's going to be good. We have a lot of fun here. So that's as far as all I have for the presentation. So what's going on in the gym right now with your students is, one, they're getting a schedule. We had some mix-up with the schedules, and I'm sorry if that affected your student. But today they should be getting a new schedule so that they have that. If there are issues, please reach out to us. It should match the schedule they got yesterday if there were not issues, so don't worry about that. They already found their team. The other thing is, what they're doing is Mrs. Bivens, our attendance secretary, is taking them to see where their homeroom / their WIN class is, so they know where that first place to go on that 7th grade day. Again, though, encourage them that as the year starts, don't be nervous about that. We're going to help them. We're going to get there. We'll get them there. They'll be okay with that. A little bit about that. When I say WIN, the way our day is structured, they have their homeroom and WIN class first. Typically, it's the same class period. However, for homeroom, we have to kind of wait to schedule that last before, and with all the scheduling things, it takes time. So what we're telling students, that WIN class, that's where to go, right away, and they'll see that. And what WIN stands for, it stands for what I need. And that's a time where we really work with students as far as what they need. I imagine right now with the hybrid plan, with the gold plans, it'll be a lot of just, hey, here's what's due, here's what's coming up and stuff like that. We're going to use that as a way just to survey students throughout the year, and that's for gold students as well, to give them a survey of just saying, hey, how's it going? How are you doing? Just a way, especially for our gold students, to know that, hey, we care about them and that we're here for them. So